So what we're going to talk about today is neural and dural unwinding, which is sort of a topic of a podcast all on its own. You're kind of just going to want to trust me a little bit on this. What we're actually after is really great structure and organization of your upper cervical region. So we have the occiput, your head, okay, and it's on a atlas and then an axis. Axis rotates a lot. Occiput sort of finds its groove on top, and that 3-joint complex, it's 2 joints, 3 vertebrae, is really, really important for setting sort of tone, structure, and organization through the rest of your body. So as an example, if the back of my neck's tight and locked, let's say you cycle and you look up a lot, or maybe swimming, or the new aero time trial on bars, text nexting, a lot of people will collapse into a text neck. You can find like just that lack of extension. So we want at least 20 to 30 degrees of extension up in the upper cervical region. And I would say 8 out of 10 people don't have it. It's very difficult to create organization and structure through the rest of your body when those 3 joints aren't sort of working well. Generally speaking, because we're not origami, we don't fold well. As we create tension, it's not normally asymmetrical. It normally happens with a twist. So it's very likely, not exclusive, that as your upper neck sort of gets kinked, it'll do so with a sense of rotation. And now we can really start to see, well, hang on, that rotation might be rippling through your body or affecting other joints. So from just a pure mechanical point of view, just those joints need to stack up so that the spinal joints underneath them can have the right aspect. And then there's this sort of dural component. There's a myodural junction. The muscles, I think it's splenius capitis at the back, sort of send fibers to your dura. And I'm pretty convinced, because it makes a really big difference, that unwinding that creates a sense of nerve space in the rest of your body. We'll talk about, for every inch forward your head is, you kind of compress or put 4 times the pressure at the base of your spine. So for a lot of, and people really do have an understanding of this now for spondo. So if you have stenosis in your upper cervical region, you probably have stenosis in your lower back. So if you have nerve symptoms in your lower back, you've got to treat the neck. This most sort of practical neurosurgeons and orthopedic surgeons are starting to get a big handle on this. So creating structure in the upper cervical region of your neck for many, many reasons, in terms of neural and headaches, movement, structure, posture, fascial health, dural health, neural health. It's all a big deal. This video is actually how to sort this out or how I personally sorted out and how I've personally made a massive difference to my neck. So there we go. Excuse me. Apologies for the little sniff. All right. So just follow along and just do it. It really, really works. It's a great break for if you're working, so staring at screens, because you'll see that there's eye movements. But basically, we just try and create a sense of release, a sense of ease. A lot of these muscles have feedback. I mean, I can go on and explain why all of this works for another hour, but let's get down and actually get after it. So the first thing we're going to do is just above my ears, I'm going to massage the muscle here. And if I clench my jaw, I'll feel my teeth, my fingers pop up, and that's your temporalis muscle. Temporalis muscle can kind of like lock your head. So we really want a sense of letting go of the temporalis muscle. So I'm going to massage above my ears, just mush things around a little bit, push in, lift up, and then yawn. Okay, push, massage, push in, lift up, yawn. And you get a sense of a sort of maybe an ache or muscle tension through the side of your face. You can self-select how long you want to do this for. So typically I do things 3 times, but push in, lift up, and open. And then really relax my jaw. I was at the dentist the other day and my right jaw's a little tight. So, it's just opening up. Anyway, then get into your masseter muscles. These are so if I chew, my fingers will pop out. Don't bite your cheek. Mush those muscles and then press open and then open. So mush, 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 open. Just you're mushing with about a 3 out of 10 pressure. And just agitate not agitate, just sort of stir the pot, as it were. Get a sense of getting into those muscles, loosen them up, and then open. Mush. Open. Cool. Next step is we're going to release underneath our underneath our jaw. Okay, anytime we sort of get our fingers into underneath the jaw in the front of our neck, be very, very gentle. I like to call it puppy dog or kitten tension. So if you're handling a puppy dog or kitten, have that sense of sensitivity in your hand. So just lightly, thumb underneath my chin and just draw it back to the end. You can just do a couple of sweeps. You'll often notice, oh, there's like a bump. My finger doesn't really want to travel through there. Or possibly you'll feel some sort of tenderness. Some people can go like, wow, that's tender. Or you might find you're blocked. You can't get up and in there. You've got the rest of your life to fix this, so don't try and fix it on the first visit. This is a great way of, let's say, taking a break during a lot of screen time, just taking a time out for a bit of self-care and sorting yourself out. So if you do it every single day, it's likely to make a radical difference over a year. That's the sort of time frame we're looking at. You're not trying to fix your neck by tomorrow. Okay. Then if I roll my fingers underneath here, underneath the angle of my jaw, okay, and sort of gently, okay, mush them around, and then open and close, you'll often start to get there's a muscle there. It's actually called the lateral pterygoid. You kind of want to try and see if you can find the muscle that pops up underneath when you open. So I'm just doing this. And just say hello to the muscle. Don't try and fix it. It's not trigger point therapy. You've got your parotid gland. You've got a lot of lymphatics. You've got a lot of stuff underneath your jaw. You just, if you don't know what you're doing, do not get in there aggressively. And then now I got a sense, yeah, my face feels lighter. My jaw feels more relaxed. And you might notice in my tone of voice feels a bit better. And then this is just a bit more relaxed. The next thing, when you take our fingers and just stroke them, there's sort of like a natural channel on the side of your neck. You're going to stroke down the side of your neck with your fingers. And again, it's soft. It's like, you want to make a kitten purr. Okay, nothing too serious. And then I'm going to get above, there's my Adam's apple. I'm going to get my fingers on either side above my Adam's apple. And the same thing, like if I wanted to sort of pick up a kitten. Okay, that sort of tension. And I'm going to do figure of 8 movements just gently with my head, or infinity loops. While we're doing this, you might as well start practice using eye movements. So I want to lead with my eyes, and my eyes should be kind of exaggerated. So I'm not like relaxing my eyes and doing the figure 8. I'm going eyes. Okay. And then the other way around. And then lift up and down. And then stroke a little bit. And you might find it's pretty tender in there, or surprisingly tender, where there's a difference. Again, we're fixing this up slowly. Now, we're going to I was taught to do this with my non-dominant hand. Okay, so my left hand is slightly smaller. It's not the biggest difference in the world. But now, out of habit, I say take your fingers of your non-dominant hand, 3 fingers, and put them in your jaw. If you can't fit 3, do 2. Okay? What I'm going to do is the same thing. Big eye movements in a figure of 8. Be careful and gentle. Don't hurt yourself. But you'll probably find a lot of cracking and popping that goes on the back of your neck. But no pain, please. Okay, none of this should be painful whatsoever. So. Cool. And then check. Now we should have a sensation that things are different. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing, but now I'm going to keep my eyes still. So the exact same movement, but keeping your eyes still. So one's exaggerated eye movements, the other one's keeping your eyes still. As much as you can. Okay, and that is fantastic for getting your jaw tension to relax. Your jaw almost seems to like anchor onto your neck and sort of pull or lock you into a forward head posture. So that really opens it up. And then those infinity loops are vital for getting the muscles at the back of your neck to sort of contract and relax. and to get a sense of organization and structure and balance between the muscles. So it's almost that's all you really need to do. But we're going to go deeper. So now I'm going to grab the back of my hand onto the meat of my neck. I'm going to have a very tall posture, so long back of my neck. And I'm going to sort of turn the meat of my neck one way and turn my head against my hand. So grabbing the meat of my neck, turn my head against it with a long neck. 3 one way, 3 the other way. And again, you might feel some cricking or cracking or crunching in the back of your neck. No pain, maximum gain. And then I can go alternating. And that's a really, really good way of sort of getting your neck muscles to sort of rotate and glide, getting a sense of an internal column separate from your neck muscles. It can be pretty relieving. Okay, next thing, shoulders. Roll your shoulders back, roll your shoulders forward, and then try and do backstroke with your shoulders, and then sort of freestyle with your shoulders. We really want a sense of sensations. You can shrug your shoulders up towards your ears, just relax and drop them down. Shrug up, relax and drop them down. We really want to sense that our shoulders are not attached to our neck or attached to our rib cage. Your shoulders need to sort of be gliding and independent of your rib cage and your shoulders. Okay. So next step, so that'll just help free up your shoulders. The next step, palm on the front of your hand, palm on the back of your head. Palm on your forehead, palm on the back of your head. Take a deep breath in. It's almost like you're waking up like in a commercial of, oh, I had the best night's sleep. So opening up my chest and widening my elbows. As a result, my neck rotates. Be very gentle. Don't hurt your neck. No tingling, no burning, no pain. You know, if you've got serious neck issues and disc bulges, ask your doctor if these exercises are okay. Okay, there's a lot of different people in the world, and this is just general advice that generally helps a lot of people and is safe, but it doesn't mean it's exclusively safe, and it's certainly not medical advice. So open up your shoulders, get your shoulders off your rib cage. I'm sort of pulling my shoulders back, opening my chest, and as a result, my neck is rotating, and then relax. Okay, and now you should feel like, wow, a whole lot of stuff's gone on. I'm not sure what, but it's different. Okay. My breathing feels easier, my shoulders are hanging off my neck easier, my face feels relaxed, my jaw feels much better. So now we're really sort of getting where we want to be. The last set, and you can mix up this order and just grab what you like, and whatever you don't like, don't use. So you can sort of do your favorites, but keep the video and come back to it so you can figure out, because what really moves the needle for you now might not be what really moves the needle for you later, and I'm sure you'll figure out like a happy space for you. So that's important because you're an N of 1 and you need to figure your N of 1-ness out. You know what I was going to say. I was going to say SH1T. Right. Last one, really, really important, eye movements. So we're going to look to the left. Okay. And then I'm going to leave my eyes left and move my head to the right. And then I'm going to bring my eyes across to the right, leave my eyes right, move my head to the left. Bring my eyes to the left, head to the right, leaving my eyes that side. And then I'm going to start trying to use my eyes in opposite direction to my head. So eyes left, head right, eyes right, head left, eyes right. And you should feel like a sense of stretching in here or stretching in here, which is really, really good. You want to mobilize those optic nerves. I can't tell you how powerful and how good this is for actually, you could bend forward, touch your toes, do this routine, and then go back to try and bend forward and touch your toes. And I promise you, you probably added inches to your range of motion. Now, the same down, so eyes down, looking up, eyes up, looking down, eyes down, looking up, eyes up, looking down. And then I'm going to try and swap. So as my head comes down, I'm looking up. And try and relax, try not to squint. It's hard. Okay, and then you can do them in the different planes, but just for the sake of brevity, what we're going to do next is just close, near, and far, which is great exercise for your eyes. So I'm going to look at my thumbnail, really focus on my thumbnail, push my thumbnail out, staring at the back of my thumbnail, then look up, and I'm going to try and relax as though I'm looking at a sunset. So like really relax your eyes, then thumbnail, and then bring your thumbnail until it starts to go double. Then look up and relax your eyes. Spend a little bit of time relaxing your eyes, especially if you've been spending a whole lot of time on a computer screen. Find your fingernail. Make sure you focus on the details of your fingernail, and then keep looking at that fingernail as you come in and out, and then relax your eyes. Then fingernail, out, and relax your eyes. You can add range of motion, so I can watch my fingernail out to the side if you like, and that's also a great way of just making sure your eyes don't get sort of locked in your skull with a fixed pupil dilation, which is what happens when you look at screens, and it affects your posture, your movement, your flexibility, and your breathing way more than you think. So there we go. That's part of it's neural and dural unwinding, but it's a great way to create organization, structure up in your head, a sense of freedom and range of motion in your body. We sort of talk about fascia. You know, you unwind and organize the back of your neck, you get more talented, your therapist gets more talented, your fascia gets more organized. It's just a great healthy practice to do. It's kind of like brushing your teeth. Importantly is try and make this sustainable and repeatable. So again, you don't have to do the whole thing. You can sort of cherry pick what you like out of it, but once a week, you'd probably want to do the whole thing and just make it a habit and be persistent. Now, please let me know how you get along with this so we can get feedback. And if you've got any other really good ideas that to implement in this kind of work, that's sort of effective, moves the needle, easy to implement, let me know, because it's something that it is really powerful and effective, but I'd like to make it better, but I would like some ideas on how to make this better. So there we go. So remember, like yourself, subscribe to yourself, turn on your new notifications, because the universe might be trying to get hold of you in order to make you more awesome, and you need to be open to that shit.